Welcome to MB.Cryptocurrency. My name is Ima, and as we promised, we're coming back with the technical analysis videos. In this video, we will explain how to work with support and resistance. To be specific, static ones. The goal of this YouTube channel is to be one-stop place to learn how to work with the crypto market. So like how to do stuff, how to work with wallets. But for our Instagram page is how to learn stuff, learning about crypto in general. Imagine combining these two, you will be a dangerous man. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and write that in comment section. What do you want to know more about technical analysis? So, let's jump into it. We are back with the chart. Usually people, when they want to talk about technical analysis, they talk with Bitcoin. But for this case, I'm just gonna go with Litecoin. Maybe because you can see on Bitcoin, but I'm just gonna go on Litecoin. It just gives you a little bit like different experience. So first of all, what are the support and resistance level? So support and resistance level, there are the levels that we expect that, for example, if the price like falling down, the support level is a level that's supporting the price to go up. Resistance level, I mean, that's all about the expectations, because market, the price of the market moves with the expectation. Resistance level, it's when the price is increasing. When they hit the resistance level, the expectation is price fall down. Now let me talk about how do we find the support and resistance level. There are a couple of points. First of all, it's the previous major change in prices, which that's the first one that we're gonna talk. Second is a major market volume. For example, we're gonna use the fixed range profile, which volume profile, which I talked about it a little in the explanation for TradingView, which we'll use it today. And then another one, it's about the numbers with psychological effect. For example, in this case, this like $100, it has like a psychological effect. It kind of support the price of the Litecoin, and if you like kind of using the social media, following the social media, before end of 2021, people were talking about by the end of the year it's gonna be like $100,000. Why is that? Because $100,000 is like has a psychological effect. It's a it's a good number. Also, it's a Fibonacci as well, which we'll have another video about it. Fibonacci, we have to talk about both Fibonacci extension and retracement, which, I mean, I know this is a static support and resistance as well, but we have to spend more time to talk about it. I want to try to keep this video as short as possible. And also areas with the fundamental importance. For example, if there is any news come from like Polkadot, when the price will increase massively, when the price drop, this area, that was this area that actually, when they talked about the Polkadot, what was that? The parachain, the release. So the price increased. If you see, there was so much support in this level before the price drop because of the fundamental news. So this area has like importance as well because of the fundamental importance, which is in our case dot. It's for the parachains. So let's just talk about the first one, the previous major change in price. So whenever you want to see the previous major changes in price, just go to the weekly time frame, because the higher you go, you can see clearly the major price movements. You can see the major price that, like, for example, you can see a little bit like this area has been touched like a couple of times, and the price has been supported once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in general in weekly time frame. So that's why we can put this as a major support area. As you can see, this area usually touched back in 2019 as well. But I don't really want to guess with my eyes. I'm just going to use an indicator to make it even easier. So you press an indicator, you just search zigzag. This is the one that I put my favorite as well. Press it, this will bring up. Now let's just press on setting. I don't really like to give that much information on my chart, especially that I want to like draw a little bit of the support and resistance. Also I use like parallel channel, blah blah blah. I want to make it a little bit look cleaner, so I don't really want to see display reversal price. The volume, I do not wish to see. Display reversal price changes, I do not wish to see. Also, I tend to make it white, just you have to customize it. That actually works for you. Style, visibility, I don't really touch it much. This is as good as it can be. But the deviation and depth, it is important. For example, when you want to use a weekly time frame, the deviation, that means 5% has changed. Let me show you. This is like 136% to change. So already 5% is into it anyway. But the depth, that actually makes it massive differences in the, for example, weekly time frame. The depth means the amount of candle before we actually show another, for example, low. For example, we have a low in here. We're not gonna have another low until like at least 10 candles, something like this. I'll make it, for example, 20, and you see it makes a difference. So it has to be at least 20. So that gives even like a more major, area of the price changes. Depends on which time frame that you're using as well. For example, if I go 520, still if you see there's so many spikes up and down, it just doesn't really give that much of a good view. It just covers both major and minor. So you have to change it, depends on what time frame that you're going to use, and what do you want to get out of it. So I'm using this. I can see, hey, there's like a point in here. I'm just gonna draw this. I'm just gonna change the color. I usually use as a major point, as like gray. You might ask, how do I put the support and resistance level? I will see, because I know the percentage. For example, on a weekly channel, it's around 6 or 7. Depends on what crypto or what market that you use. You can make it even bigger or smaller. For example, if you're using on stock, stock really, it doesn't really change as much as crypto. For example, 5%, it's 5 to 10% for altcoins. In crypto market, it's like very normal every day, but for like stock, it's like 1 to 2% is normal. Generally, 5%, it's like 6% when I use a measurement. If you see the range of this support area is like 8%, which is normal. For example, with Litecoin, you have to see, and for example, in this, the majority of the candles, for example, this one is like 9%. So this one, for example, it's like a normal one, it's like 6%. So it is normal to expect 6 or 7% up and down in a candle. For example, for Litecoin, as I'm saying, it is kind of normal. If you see like majority of them, they're like either 5 to 6% up or higher, up or down. So I expect if I make a support or resistance level which is around between 6 to 8%, it is normal. You have to check with each coin as well when you want to do it as well, but generally 5 to 8%, it's normal to cryptocurrency. So I'll go back to the weekly candle because I have not finished. This is all-time high as well. I make it usually at the top. Only the wicks that cover the week, because this is a time that actually the price has moved and kind of worked as a resistance, and that should do it. And this is generally the major area of support and resistance. When we go on daily, we can make it even more specific. We can change it if we wish. As you see, the one that I choose, it worked perfectly fine. And this is fine as well because it just touched the wick of the third candle over here. So that's kind of, we can assume this is as accurate as it can be. Also, we'll see this one kind of accurate as well, but yeah, this works as well. For example, this was a stop hunt, so it's kind of for the drop down the price, but if you see, this area worked pretty well as a support. Now, that was the major. How about the minor? Let me change a little bit of the deviation to 20 to see what are the changes. Still not that big. Make me depth as a 25. Still not much of a difference. Make me 25. So I maximum use of 25 to 30 for for the daily time frame, because if it goes above that, there's not much of a point between using, you know, daily and weekly. So I can see there's a little bit of market changes in here as well as a minor support or resistance. If you see, the price has touched a couple of times in here, and when I even use it here, say, hey, like this happened as well in here, I can move it a little bit higher up and move this one a little, depends on what scenario is happening. You see it's a little bit more accurate at this time, and I change the color of this to yellow, as it shows to me that this is a minor resistance and minor support and resistance. So I forgot to tell you something. What are the differences between major and minor, and how you can decide? For example, you now know which one is minor, which one is major, as a previous major changes in price. But how do you decide which one that you need to use and for what? So in major, you have to decide, you have to actually make your own like big decisions, and for a minor, you have to use it as a confirmation that actually your analysis was kind of correct, or the scenarios that you have is working with your you know, decision that you're making. For example, if you have like a scenario that the price is kind of bullish, that it's gonna increase, and you act accordingly, and just don't forget that you have to do the money management and risk management as well. When you you know, think about that and you assume it's going to be bullish, to see, for example, I assume the trend at the the momentum, it's you know, positive, so the price is going up. If you have a like expectation this one to go up, which is, it should be your second expectation to have a true breakout, because usually when the price reach a support or resistance, you expect the change of the direction, a reversal. If you expect this one goes up, you have to see a confirmation. This is like a true breakout. So either you go up, retest, and the price will go up. So you use as a minor as a confirmation of your you know, major what was that? So as your major when you, for example, when you have analysis from your major support and resistance. So that was about that. I made another minor here. Let me see, there was a little bit of the thing in here. Let me extend it to here to see, hey, this is played pretty well in here as well as the area of the resistance, support and resistance in general. Let me see if that works better in here. Yes, that's better a little. So you have another minor. You can make as you know, much as this, but that depends how, you know, how deep you want to go through. If you see there's another here as well, I can see there's a little bit of the price changes. The price went up and down. I can change a little bit of the deviation and depth. For example, I'll make this one 15 and make this one 10 to see what are the prices happening here. I can see, hey, there's another here happened. The price moved up and down. So that's generally it, but make sure try to put more focus on a major, you know, price changes in general. This we can assume as a little bit more major, as the price has went up and down and touched so many times. So this one we can assume a little bit of the major. So that was about the previous major change in price. As I said again, first we expect change of the direction of the reversal. That's what happened here. You just have a reversal in here, and we expect this one have a reversal if there's no fundamental news. Now, the second one is a major market volume. How we can see, because we can see a little bit of volume in here in the bottom, but this is like a candle volume. For example, this is like a daily candle volume. But how we can see, we can use fixed range volume that we spoke of a little on our TradingView introduction. So I put from this range from 11th of the January till now. This, if you see, there's like a purple line, which I can even change the color of it as we call it point of control, POC. Let me make it a color that'll be more visible. Should be better. Yep. Press OK. So point of control, that means the major point that was the market had more interest to trade was here. Where is the brush? It's here. Let me put it as my favorite. So this area, this price from we can see 170 to 100, like 200 roughly, market has interest. So either works as our support or resistance, which in our case, because the price is below this, works as our resistance. If the price was higher, this would works as the area of this at the support. And if you can see, we have as a major price changes, we have another resistance. So this area we expect to have a major resistance, which I put it as a red to say, hey, like this is double because of the also from volume, and also it works as the area of the major changes previously. And also you can use it as well. For example, the second highest is kinda this way almost. Where's the brush? This way. So this is area around 135 to 150. So the price that actually the market reflect exactly, that makes this one not only a major, it's almost not only the minor, but it is almost works as a major resistance. That's why the price, when there's touch this one, it just fall down. So that's how we can use volume profile as well to see if we can even match with other support and resistance levels, such as previous major changes in prices. Another one that we said is number with a psychological effect, as we expect, as I said, like $150 or 100 or even like 200, which can work as an area of the support and resistance. For example, if you see a couple of times it just reached up, it dropped, it played with around like 200 level, see like so many times it touched it. This is an area that actually might work as a support and resistance. So that's generally it about the static support and resistance level. We're gonna have another video about the dynamic support and resistance level. If you like something, if you want me to talk more about any points that you wish to know, type down in the comments. I'll make and update you guys as we go, and expect more videos upcoming. So thank you so much, and see you in another video.